Hey guys, this is Gardening on the West Fork, Teresa, and we're in Zone 6. But today I want to talk about um, a big project that's scheduled for the fall, and then the two projects we'll be doing today in the perennial border. But the big project for the fall is our willow tree. I had a tree specialist come in, and those three branches to the left, can you point to those, Reg, so they can see? Yeah, those top three branches are going to come out. Our biggest fear, our biggest fear, we've had some strong winds, strong rain off August, and it's the end of August, but like last night was a bad storm. Our fear is those branches will fall on the house, on the property of the neighbor next to us. So hopefully October, November, they're going to come in and take those limbs out. Now, it's not going to be an easy project because we're on the West Fork River and we have no access for any type of lift or trucks. So if John allows us to video this, I'll show you, because it'll be interesting to see the climbers in the tree, how they rope themselves up there with chainsaws, and then lower the limbs down into the yard without destroying everything that's in the garden. That was their concern, is they said, oh my goodness, you have all these plants. Well, I'm going to cut back all of those perennials in the shade garden, remove anything that could be damaged, but I expect some extra damage. I have a choice of taking the whole tree out or just the limbs, and Reg and I have agreed that let's go with the limbs. And the tree expert said, yeah, take those limbs out. You can see this lovely right side of the tree looks healthy. And he says that'll probably extend the life of the tree, and it'll bring it down to a very healthy size. And the biggest thing is the fear of those limbs breaking and just destroying the tree. So that was a big decision this week, and I talked to him today, and he'll give me the heads up, and hopefully I can bring you along. The other two things we're going to do today that you'll get to see is we're going to move 2 shade perennials from the shade garden, and I'm going to get some more things. I'm going to move my arborvitae fern, or the Sanguinella bronii, that I planted either last fall or early this spring. I want to move it forward, and then I have dug out some painted ferns this week for some friends, or last week, and it's left a space that I want to add more painted ferns, fill in that hole. And if I decide I also want to do some cleanup, it's that time of year. But I'm going to gather my tools, and I'll meet you guys at the shade garden. I'm in here getting some stuff. I've already got the compost ready to go. I went down there earlier and dug that up. So let me get my hand pruners. Got it. All right. And I almost forgot, last week when the tree specialist came, he's walking down the stairs and the old handrail broke right under his hand. And that was a project Reg said he wanted to do this year. And look, in the last couple days, this is fantastic. He has added, we really like this iron railing that is in and throughout the gardens, but such a sturdy look. New post. This isn't going to go anywhere, and I think it gives a modern touch to a cottage garden, in my opinion. But thanks to Reg, when he decides to do something, he just does it. So come on down here. The cat's meow nepeta is amazing. This just got planted, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And this is why you plant the nepeta. Look at the blooms. I have it in another spot over there. It's given me the color I wanted. And we've had nice rains though, even though it's been hot. And it's warm again today. The 90s are gone, but the 80s are here, and we're getting rain. So what we're going to do, I did go to my compost. This is almost composted compost. In a couple weeks, I'm going to be turning compost around. So that looks good. I have been diligent with my compost this spring and summer, and I can see the difference. It definitely decomposes faster if you get it turned. Again, I have a small garden, and it's easier to turn your compost in a small garden. So over here, in amongst the ferns, this is my arborvitae fern, and it's beautiful. Yeah, and it's really not a fern. It is, it's like a pine. Thanks, Reg, an arborvitae. So I'm going to take out these ostrich ferns back here, but I think I want to move the fern right in here, and that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to cut back this fern in order to dig it out, and then we will be able to work in here a little easier. And the one thing about your arborvitae fern is it does well in the shade. It can stay evergreen. Mine did. This is its first season. Let me get the hole dug for it though and get rid of this. So I will save this for anybody who wants a fern. I'll throw that out. We'll save that for later. I'm going to go ahead and dig this one out. If I can, I tell you, these things are beautiful. The rain has brought everything out just the way I liked it. So we'll get this one out. And then we'll get the hole dug for the fern. And this autumn fern looks beautiful back behind. Look at that nice autumnal color. There we go. I'll finish taking the soil off of that. So, the soil is wonderful here. I'm going to move it in this space, right in here, Reg. What do you think? A little more forward, close to this chartreuse. I love that chartreuse heuchera. And because I've just planted my arborvitae fern, and it's doing well, I'm not going to add anything to the roots, because as I think about it, I did just plant it this spring because I overwintered it last winter. So we're going to bring it forward. It's a mounding form of evergreen with fern-like leaves, and it stays low. I think it gets no more than 2 feet wide, 2 feet tall. Now I'm going to get a little compost and throw that in the hole. You can see it's partially composted. You can see some eggshells. I never worry too much about that. It'll decompose and nourish the soil. So let's get this ready for that. Okay, now let's see how well this comes out. And this is a perfect day to do this. We've had rain all week. We had a heavy storm last night. I'm doing this in the shade. It's not that hot right now. Good. I'm going to take it out just as I took it out of the soil. Plant it at the same level. And it should not have any problems at all adjusting. So this, if you have perennials that you want to be moving, you want to make certain you're doing it on if you can, a nice cloudy day. Rain expected. Now, if we don't get rain for the next week, I'll come in a week, if not sooner, and thoroughly water it. But for now, this is really wet back in here. You can see there's clay in the soil too, but I've amended it enough. So I'm going to put that back in there, compact it in, put some soil around it, and I will bring some more mulch in here because I had mulched this whole area. And I think that's where I wanted it. And if not, I'll move it again. I'll put a little soil back in there. That makes it easy. Let me get my little... Sanguinella bronii. Look it up. It's beautiful. It's good to zone 5. We're a zone 6. This is a protected area, though. I'm going to put a little compost around it. It doesn't require a lot of fertilization. A little compost. And that should be good. Perfect. Let me see if that's where I wanted it. Yeah, that's where I wanted it. See, now I can see it. Looks. Oh, I'll get out of the way. And I will probably be deliberate about keeping the ferns from encroaching too much. By next year, that should be up, probably another foot. And we'll be able to see it much nicer, too. Let me go ahead while I'm thinking of it. I've got lots of water down here. I'm going to give it a drink. There isn't any rain expected today. Yay. All right. Oh, and look at this pot. It's just doing great. It just adds so much color. Enough. Let's go on to our next project. And that is, I had some friends come by last week. Yeah, I lost, oh, no. I thought I lost my mic. But I didn't. I had, yes, friends, Judy, Estelle, and Carol. And they came, visited me, and I ended up digging out some of my painted ferns. And now I've got a hole here, so I want to put, I'm going to get back in here and dig an asparagus, a painted fern, bring it forward to fill in that spot. And let me add a little soil there first, because I do like how the painted ferns soften this whole edge. So I like that look, and I want to keep it looking like that. I'm going to move this forward. There's a nice clump. And it has, fortunately, there we go. That's what I want. It has the white violets, which, look at this wonderful white violet ground cover. It has stayed green all summer. Let's put these in at the level they come out. Now under the tree, this isn't as wet as I thought it would be. Under this big willow tree. But that filled that in nicely. It won't take it long for it to multiply out. I want to get that watered in too. Thank you. So when you have things like this, share them with your friends. Those are 2 projects that I've wanted to do. And then the other things I've been doing is assessing the perennial border. And today I'm going to go in, I'm going to order myself some millennial or serendipity alliums. Because when I walk around here, I'm going to also today while I'm here, deadhead my zinnias, go through, clean out what, maybe take down some other daylilies. But wouldn't alliums be nice right here? This time of year, a clump here, 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 and here. I know this was an amazing, it's a cosmos. It's huge. I've staked it. I couldn't believe that was the one seed that survived after the flood, and I let it grow. And it's a cosmos tree. I didn't know they made them in trees, but you're seeing here for the first time on Gardening on the West Fork. So my alliums will go here, and there's the other cat's meow doing great. But I need to cut these back my white coneflowers. Alliums will come over here where I took out some daylilies and give me some beautiful color. The butterflies will love them. So I'm going to do that today. Jim gave me a couple magazines, so that was my 2 chores today outside of some deadheading, and that's what I love. I'll probably pick another bouquet too. But thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork, and look forward to, if they'll let me, the video of watching this tree come down, because when you stand and look up at that, the height of that, I don't know how high it is pretty tall. And it will be a challenge to get that down without breaking every limb on this tree, but that's why you hire the specialists, right? That's right. Anyhow, thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.